The next brawler, Ash, is going to be coming into the game soon, and the question that we all want to know is, will he be any good, or is he in fact trash? Today, I'll answer that question. I'll tell you all about him and then pit him 1v1 versus every brawler in Brawl Stars, and by the end of this video, I'll be able to answer that important question of just how good is Ash going to be. Now, Ash is a chromatic brawler, and you'll be able to get him from boxes after tier 30 or from the paid Brawl Pass. He will be releasing with the update, so you better get them gems ready. But before you buy anything with those gems, be sure to enter a creator code in the shop. And if you're so inclined to use my code, CodeLex, me and my family would appreciate you tremendously. Now, Ash is a short-range brawler, and with his main attack called Cleanup, he sends a shockwave with his broom that pierces all the enemies that he hits in a line. Now, the attack isn't particularly wide, and there is a delay to it that's similar to Frank's, which we'll talk about here in just a minute because it's rather important. His super is called Little Helpers, and with it, he throws out 5 robotic rats that chase down the nearest enemy, exploding on contact and dealing 420 damage for each individual rat. Now, before I tell you about the star powers, we need to touch on the new mechanic introduced with Ash, and that's Rage. Ash has a new bar and a new icon. Now, this new bar is called his Rage Bar, and the icon is his Rage Meter. Now, they both give you the same basic information, and that's how much rage Ash currently has. The Rage Bar has 3 sections, and they directly correlate to the Rage Meter. Now, at base level, Ash will deal 1,120 damage. At tier 1, he will deal 1,680 damage, and at tier 2, he will deal 2,240 damage with his main attack. Now, the Rage Meter is merely a quick visual indicator for the Rage Bar, and it will either be gray for the base level, half yellow for tier 1, or fully yellow for tier 2. Now, opponents cannot see your Rage Bar, but they can see your Rage Meter. In addition to damage, his speed also increases with each rage level. Now, at base level, his speed is normal, and at full rage, he is the fastest trash can that you have ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen a trash can move, but regardless, he's the fastest. At his maximum rage level, he can keep pace with Crow. Now, Ash has 2 star powers, and the first one is called First Bash. This star power doubles the rage generation from his main attack when attacking from full ammo. Now, subsequent attacks do not get double rage, just the first one from a full ammo bar, which you can tell when it's ready because your ammo bar will be yellow. His second star power is called Mad as Heck, and this star power lets Ash swing his broom faster, thereby reducing the delay that he has in his normal attack. It scales with your rage bar and will allow him to swing up to 30% faster at max rage levels. Ash's gadget is called Chill Pill, and it's a really good gadget. What it does is, when you use this gadget, it converts his rage into health. Now, how much healing depends on how much rage is on the rage bar, but it goes from just a few hundred at very little rage all the way up to the maximum of 2,500 hit points at max rage. Alright, so now that you know a little bit about Ash, let's get into the interactions, and I'll give you some tips and thoughts about Ash as we go along. And afterwards, I'll give you my thoughts on him, as well as let you hear his really unintelligible voice lines. Yeah, stick around for that. Now, for these interactions, it's a best of 3 against each brawler. The first round is main attacks only. The second round includes supers, and then the third round, if needed, it will include everything at the brawler's disposal. Let's get this party started right with the Trophy Road Brawlers. Ash has more health than Nita, and his rage builds up fast, so he's able to take her down. And even with Bruce on the field, Nita can't use him as a shield because of Ash's piercing shot. Now, Colt's superior damage enables him to take the first round. However, once the supers fly, those rats pound Colt into submission. Now, gadgets wouldn't make any difference, so no third round is needed. Bull and Ash have almost the same health, but that damage from Bull is instant and deadly. Bull can even come in with a big charge, and the rats make it closer as they build up that rage, but in the end, Bull wins comfortably. This interaction is similar to Nita, as Ash wins the first round easily, and then in round number 2, the piercing shots with the help of Ash's rats take out Jessie and her faithful companion Scrappy. Even with the last minute buff to Brock, his health is so low that he melts under the broom, and Brock would have been better off not using any super, as it's still in the air as he goes down. Now, Mike made it a close call in this first match, just barely losing, but in round 2, even with that big bomb, the rats find themselves a tasty snack and gobble up Mike's health. Even with a buff, Bo still goes down and his super wouldn't explode in time to help him, so no round 2. Oh, Tick. Poor Tick. Ah, this is ugly, but I don't know, maybe his super will level the playing field. Let's find out. Tick throws his head down in. No. 8-Bit unleashes a barrage of shots that do consistent damage that it's just too much for Ash to handle. Now, Ash's super is almost able to seal the deal, but in the end, the walking arcade beats the trash can. Ash's max range falls right into Emz's big damage zone, and she takes the trash out in round 1. And even with the super, Ash finds himself in a bad matchup here and is scrapped. Stu is unable to take out Ash in 3 shots, which gives Ash round 1. And even with that fire on the ground, Ash still overpowers Stu with ease. As you saw, Ash does pretty well against pretty much everybody except for, well, the tanks. And I'll explain more about why that is and why that's a huge weakness of his in just a minute. But first, let's see how he does against the rare brawlers. El Dragon completely beasts down on Ash. Honestly, there's no contest. And even with the help of his rats, Ash gets stuffed back in the bin and sent to the landfill. Now, Unicorn Barley may have the best looking skin, but it doesn't double his hit points, so he loses. And his super doesn't help at all either, as it takes too long to unleash. Trash Poco versus an actual trash can, and the Trash Knight wins. Well, in round 2, even with the buff to Screeching solo, those swarming rats just smash Poco and his guitar. In round 1, Rosa gets her health back from those bushes and just easily wins. And then, in round 2, Rosa pops that super and just shrugs off Ash's damage on her way to an easy win. Low health Rico? No burst damage? Yeah, the result was inevitable. However, in round 2, the damage output gets cranked up a notch and he made it much closer, but still is not enough. Rico loses. Ash struggles against fast burst damage, and with 2 quick shots, it's lights out for Ash. In round 2, the barrel rolls in and kills Ash before the rats made any difference at all. Just like the other spawners, Penny gets beat down in round 1, and then in round 2, Ash sends Penny and her mortar back to the pirate ship to swab the deck. In round 1, Ash is able to take advantage of Carl's long shot and just edges out a win. However, moving into round 2, Carl unleashes that super with the protective pirouette star power and he absorbs the damage, taking the win. Moving into the final round, Ash makes perfect use of the gadget to give himself back a ton of health, which allows him to win by a mere 40 hit points. Ash has been struggling all day with tanks, and Jackie makes quick work of him. In round 2, she uses that shield from her super to soak the damage and easily defeats Ash. Primo absolutely dominated Ash, and other than the obvious health difference, the biggest reason he struggled is twofold. First off, he doesn't have the health to stand toe-to-toe with the big boys, and the delay to his shot is a weakness here, but it's even worse in a game, and it's honestly pretty hard to play with. But his super does come in pretty handy and deals a surprising amount of damage, and there are certain situations where those little rats are lifesavers, which you'll see right here when he goes up against all the epic brawlers. Moving on to the epic brawlers, Ash starts by mopping the floor with Piper, with his broom. But once she gets her super and is able to put some distance between them, Ash can do nothing but wait for those bombs and, well, his death. In round 3, it's basically a repeat of the previous round, and even though Ash gets a heal from his gadget, it's still not enough as Piper is able to blast right through that trashy armor. The queen is thick and the queen is evil, and she has no problem taking out the trash. In an effort to usurp the throne, though, Ash gets his rat buddies in on the game and wins round 2. Now, in round 3, both brawlers can heal themselves, but the evil queen makes Ash a jester and sends him out of the castle. 10,900 hit points. I mean, do I really need to say anything more? Oh, I do? Okay then, how about that new animation from DJ Frank? It looks pretty sweet, huh? Well, Ash didn't think so. Mr. Bat came to play as BB put the smack attack on Ash and easily wins round 1. Now, Ash tries his best in round 2, but the bubble comes back around and helps BB pick up this win. Don't blink, you might miss this one. With 2 swings of the broom, B gets trounced. The second round, she gets beat just as bad. Almost as bad as that pun. Nani comes out swinging with that massive damage and beats Ash in round 1, but her secret weapon is thwarted by those pesky rats in both the second and the third round as Ash beats Nani thanks to his robotic friends. Edgar comes close to winning round 1, but in the end he runs out of ammo, and then when he tries to get fancy with his super, the rats join in and Edgar swiftly loses. The 2 boxy fellas face off, but man, oh man, that damage. Griff is just too strong close up for anyone to handle, let alone a trash can. Mortis may have Coiled Snake and Creepy Harvest together, but he doesn't have reload speed, and even with his bats to take out the rats, Ash puts Mortis 6 feet under. In a close first round, Ash is able to narrowly beat Terra, but when the supers come out to play, oh boy! Oh no, Ash still wins. Sorry, Terra. Now, Gene just got some balance changes, and, well, it didn't matter. I mean, he was so mad that he pulled death to his doorstep, and Ash put Gene in the bin. She came in fast and went out just as fast. No second round needed. Now, Mr. P does a surprising amount of damage in round 1, but like the other spawners, Ash is easily able to win the second round. A ninja trash can versus a royal rolling plant. Yeah, that's a weird sentence. I mean, Sprout really does his best to hang in there, but even with his super and shield, Ash is able to walk around that mini castle and win without any issues. You're looking good, Byron, in that wizard skin, but that's about all I can say. Now, Squeak got some major buffs, and yeah, it didn't matter either. But that big blob is gonna do some damage. Check it out. If it would have went off in time. Rip. Now, there is one interesting note. The way that Mortis can deal with Frank by dashing through his shots, I think that it's possible that he'll be able to do the same with Ash by, dashing right when he starts his shot animation and going through his shots, but I didn't have time to fully test it, but I'm pretty sure that a good Mortis player could pull it off. That's not me. But anyways, now let's see if the legendary brawlers can fare even better. With that perfect position, Spike does massive damage and bursts down Ash, but in round 2, the rats do the work and finish him off. Then, moving into round 3, Ash uses that gadget to get a ton of health back and take the win. Okay, let's be real. This first round, never a question. Crow gets dominated, but when he's able to use that super from dead center, he obliterates Ash and his rats. Round 3 repeats the performance, and oh my boy, Crow wins easy. Once again, Ash has trouble with burst damage and loses in round 1. Bad. But when Sneaky Leon comes out, the rats go to town and take him down. However, Leon is able to use his clone projector in round 3 to distract the rats as he beats Ash for the win. Listen, Sandy fell asleep, okay? He needed the rest. Amber tried her best to burn the trash pile, but even with her super, the rats join the party and keep the garbage from going up in flames. Ash has no mercy on the old man Gale and pummels him in round 1. Even in round 2, with the super and the star power from Gale, he still gets back in time to finish him off. Surge, Surge, Surge! Dies. And then in round 2, he uses his super as pest control, but he still loses. In round 1, Colette, well, she promptly loses. But then in round 2, she gets her super off, or just about, she still loses. This oversized burger surprises us all and beats Ash in round 1, but in round 2, those rats smell the cheese on that burger and they eat Lou up. Round 3, Lou just takes too much time with his super and his gadget and he finds himself swallowed by trash. Oh, Ruffs, you tried. That's something. This one only needs one round to decide a victor, and that victor is Ash. Buzz and his whistle just narrowly win round 1. And then, in round 2, even with Ash's rats, that stun is enough to give Buzz the win. So there you have it. Ash, 1v1 versus every other brawler. He actually did pretty decently, but there's a big problem. And I'll tell you what that is right after you listen to these almost unintelligible voice lines.
Oh, rats. Nah, I'm done. Nah, I'm bogging. Oh, nipping my heat, man. Get off your heat. Ah! Get off me, you wee rascal. Oh, get off me, you wee toe rag. Come here. Oh, away you go. My heat is ringing. Pure ready. Oh, yeah, get in my bin. So rubbish. Oh, yeah, pure rubbish. Numpty. La vide. Bins for the wins. Who's rubbish now? Just been taking out the trash. Rat attack. Ha 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 ha. One more win for the bin. Welcome to the rat race. Run free, my wee beasties. Make daddy proud. Meet my pals. Time to take out the rubbish. I smell rubbish. Off you go. Look at the wines go. I'm so manky. Bin it to win it.
Did you understand any of that? I think I heard a get in my bin. That's actually pretty good. I thought it was going to be a Scottish brawler, and it was. And oh, did you notice that symbol on the back of Ash? That's actually Paul Chambers' logo, the guy who's created all the brawlers. And I think that he did this because the brawler is the 50th brawler that has ever been put out in Brawl Stars, and that's kind of like a nice monumental moment. So how good do I think Ash is going to be? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give him like a 6. See, he's capable of putting out a lot of damage, but the problem is that it takes a bit to charge up that rage and then keep it very high, like in the upper tiers of rage. And even worse is the delay of his shot. Honestly, it's pretty hard to play with. Frank is able to get away with it because his shot is so long and wide. That's what she said. But Ash's shot is pretty thin and honestly, kind of hard to land. Now, I think that players that master it will do pretty well, but I suspect that most players will find him rather disappointing. Now, for that reason, I would not be surprised at all if Ash gets buffed. Now, from the Brawl talk, we saw that his health actually got nerfed into the dev build, so I was expecting over 7,000 hit points, and he had 6,000 and something. So, put it this way, I played him for a couple hours, and I had to try. I actually had to try against bots at a couple hundred trophies. Now, granted, I'm not the greatest player, and maybe I just need more practice with him, but that's not normal, and to be completely honest, I found him very frustrating to play. So, we'll see how it goes, but the real question is, what do you think of Ash? Do you think he's going to be great, or is this going to be a case of function following form, and he's trash? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below, but that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.